doctor came in and she explained to me that Lark has cerebral palsy.
It was hard. It was hard because I realized that with that news that my daughter would not be able to have a life of running around, playing, jumping up in my arms, just like I had with my son. Literally, she would just be sitting there in a room and, not a whole lot of interaction, just kind of there, And I would just kind of look in her eyes and be like, what are you thinking, Lark? What are you thinking? But it was just hard.
And we would go to different family functions, and the other kids would be playing, and she couldn't play,
When Chloe was born, she was 3 months premature. She was 1 pound, 13 ounces. She got an infection when she was just 2.5 weeks old. They had to give her over 100% oxygen to keep her alive, and that was the cause of her blindness. She had IVs in every limb on her body. She didn't even look like a baby anymore. Finally, when she was 2.5 months old, they let me hold her and feed her. The first time I held her, she just felt like a pile of blankets. She was so light. She was only 2.5 pounds.
Until we reached about 2, and I noticed that he wasn't speaking, and he was diagnosed with autism. It was very devastating in the beginning. There was a lot of blame, embarrassment, going out to McDonald's and people staring at you because maybe he was doing something that the other kids weren't doing. Not only was he diagnosed at 2 with autism, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Here's an 8-year-old boy that's being stuck with needles and chemo, knowing that it's going to make him sick, and him being in the bathtub and saying, I'm going to be okay, right? I'm going to be okay. I said, you're going to be okay. And he has come a long, long, long way.
We were at a baseball game, one of Hunter's games, and there was a lady there. I'd never met her, and she noticed Lark. She could tell that Lark had special needs. And she told us about SIRE. The very first lesson that she had with SIRE, instantly, her face lit up, and she was happy. And by the second or third lesson or session, she was elated. Now Lark can walk by herself, climb the stairs.
We found out about SIRE through the therapists that were visiting our house. SIRE gives her a sense of accomplishment and pride that doesn't come easy for somebody that's blind. Most of her trophies come from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, The first year she was there was 2006, and she got 4 trophies all at one time. This year she got 2 trophies. One was for barrels, and the other one was for English equitation.
The first day, I think he was a little uneasy. He didn't really want to ride. Are we done yet? You know, every 3 minutes, are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Because anybody that has autistic kids knows, you know, their structure. And so the first day, you know, was not that great, you know. And then, you know, the next week, you know, it got just a little bit better. And then the next week, and over time, he just really seemed to bond with the horse, and the horse with him. It's almost as if they were talking to each other, but with unspoken words. His fine motor skills, when he first started riding, the reins would just hang. And now he knows. He knows to pull to the right or pull to the left or pull back. And it's the small things, you know, that we take for granted. But that program to me is the start of something much bigger in his life.